Dear students, welcome back to my channel. So in the last class, we have discussed about the concept of equipotential surfaces, isn't it? Okay. What are equipotential surfaces? Yes. The surfaces having same electric potential at all the points on them are called equipotential surfaces. In addition to that, we have discussed a few properties of equipotential surfaces also. Isn't it? Which are the properties of equipotential surfaces? They never intersect. The work done in moving charge on them is zero. So they are very close at strong electric field region and further apart at weak electric field region. Like that, we have discussed a few properties of equipotential surfaces. And finally, we have discussed about the relation between electric intensity and electric potential. Isn't it? So, in this class, let us discuss about electric potential energy. You know about the gravitational potential energy, isn't it? See. So actually, this is the fourth electrical effect of a charge, which I have discussed in the very first class. So, while discussing about the concept of electric charge, what is an electric charge means? It is something possessed by an object by virtue of which it produces the electrical effects. Which are those four electrical effects? Electrical force, electrical field, electric potential, and the fourth one, electric potential energy. Electric potential energy of a unit positive test charge. Unit positive test charge. We know that test charge is a charge which comes in order to check the presence of electric field, isn't it? Okay, see. So, what do you mean by gravitational potential energy? In two ways we can answer to that question. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position in gravitational field is called gravitational potential energy. Another definition, so gravitational potential energy is nothing but the amount of work done in bringing a body from infinity to any point in the gravitational field, isn't it? Here also, see, just like that, if we consider a unit positive test charge Q0, initially this Q0 was at infinity. So suppose here is already an electric field, some external electric field E. We don't know which charge is producing electric field. Hence I have called it as an external electric field. In this electric field, what is the need of considering this electric field means? That also I have already explained. In the absence of electric field, so if you do any work means it will be regarded as zero because there has to be some opposition from a force or electric field, isn't it? Therefore, so initially this Q0 was at infinity. I have brought it from infinity to this point Q0, and the amount of work done by me is given by W is equal to Q0 times V. What is that V? So that is potential due to that external electric field. Here, because we know that actually like this we have studied, electric potential at a point in an electric field is the amount of work done in bringing a unit positive test charge from infinity to that point like that. Therefore, W can be written as Q0 times V or simply V times Q0. Now, this work done will be stored as electric potential energy in the charge. Therefore, what we can write in place of W, U is equal to V into Q0. Like that, we usually represent the electric potential energy of a unit positive test charge when under external electric field. So now you can able to define it now. Electric potential energy of a unit positive test charge in an external electric field can be defined as it is the amount of work done in bringing it, that is unit positive test charge, from infinity to that point against the direction of external electric field, that too without any acceleration, like that we say. Okay, now what is the SI unit for this electric potential energy? What is the SI unit? Here is V, here is Q naught, Coulomb volt. Coulomb volt. Usually we won't represent the SI unit like this. Instead of this, we represent it by Joule. Joule is the SI unit for electric potential energy. Any type of energy is having an SI unit of Joule. Okay, next. So apart from this, one practical unit is there. Practical unit. Usually we take that practical unit whenever the charges like protons, electrons, whenever they get energy, so we used to take this practical unit, which is electron volt. Electron volt. What is the value of electron volt? How to define this electron volt? Very important question for 1 mark. You may get it like this. Define 1 electron volt. Whenever you ask this question, you have to say like this. 1 electron volt means, see, it is 1 electron. Therefore, I can write it as 1 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb into 1 volt. Therefore, it is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb volt. Coulomb volt is nothing but joule. Therefore, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joule. This is the value of 1 electron volt. Similarly, 1 mega electron volt means 1.6 into 10 power minus 13 joule. Okay. Now, the definition of 1 electron volt says that it is the amount of energy acquired by an electron when it is accelerated through a potential difference of 1 volt. So, you may study it, the definition of 1 electron volt in your work, power and energy chapter in your class 11 also. Please remember, 1 electron volt is the energy acquired by an electron when it is accelerated through a potential difference of 1 volt. Like that. So, this is the practical unit of electric potential energy. So, just like this, one more concept is there, that is electric potential energy difference. Electric potential energy difference of a unit positive test charge. Just like the concept of electric potential and electric potential energy, here we have to study the concept of electric potential energy and electric potential energy difference. Since this electric potential mainly deals with electric potential energy mainly deals with electric potential, here the electric potential energy difference mainly deals with electric potential difference. That is, we know that dV is equal to dW divided by Q naught, isn't it? This is electric potential difference between 2 points in an electric field. So, how we have defined there this electric potential difference? Electric potential difference between 2 points in an electric field can be defined as the amount of work done in moving a unit positive test charge from one point to another point opposite to the direction of electric field. Like that we have defined. Similarly here, so we can write dW like this, Q naught times dV or dV times Q naught. That is electric potential energy difference of a unit positive test charge between 2 points in an external electric field can be defined as the amount of work done in moving it from one point to another point opposite to the direction of external electric field. Like that we have to define electric potential energy difference. Let me repeat once again. Electric potential energy difference of a unit to positive test charge between 2 points in an external electric field can be defined as the amount of work done in moving it from one point to another point opposite to the direction of electric field. So the SI unit and practical unit for this is similar to that electric potential energy. Okay. Now let us derive an expression for electric potential energy of a system of two charges. You may or may not get this question for examination, but very important concept for solving 5-mark numerical problems. Please remember, electric potential energy of a system of two charges. System of two charges. Okay. Now, let us consider 2 points. Say for example 1 and 2, which are separated by a distance of some small r. Okay. Now, here is the infinity. At infinity, there are two charges, for example Q1 and Q2. First I will bring Q1 from infinity to this point. So for example, this is the direction of electric field. Electric field is like this, an external electric field. Next, I will bring that charge from infinity to this point and I will place it here. Okay, sorry, here. No electric field is here. In the absence of electric field, we don't know. So there is no electric field. At infinity, here is a charge Q1. Here are two charges Q1 and Q2. First I will bring that charge Q1 from infinity to point 1. Okay, here what is the amount of work done in doing so? In doing so, the work done is 0. Why means, so when the work is said to be done, whenever we move that charge from one point to another point opposite to the direction of electric field, since no electric field is here, no electric potential is here, the work done will be 0. Work done in moving Q1 from infinity to 1 is 0, because E is equal to 0 and V is equal to 0. If V becomes 0, also W becomes 0 means, because we know that dW is equal to, otherwise simply W is equal to what? V into Q. Since V is equal to 0, W is equal to 0. Therefore, simply I will write W1 is equal to V into Q. That is 0 into Q1, which is equal to 0. Next, as soon as I place this charge Q1 here, it starts producing the electric field. In which direction? In this direction. This is the direction of electric field of Q1. At this point, it produces what its effect is there. That is, the potential of charge Q1 is there. That V1 is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 over R. This is the potential right now. Now, let us bring the remaining charge Q2 from infinity to 2. Initially, the infinity was having Q1 and Q2 charges. First in the first case, I have brought this Q1 and placed it here at point 1. The work done by me is 0 or work done by you is 0 because no electric potential, no electric field was there to oppose it. Next, our intention is to bring Q2 from infinity to this point. Here I have to bring and place Q2. So in this direction, opposite to the electric field direction. What is the work done? Work done in moving Q2 from infinity to 2 is, simply I will write W2 is equal to V into Q2. What V is present there? V1 is present. What is the value of V1? This much. Therefore, if I combine this, we get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R. So this is the amount of work done in moving that charge Q2 from infinity to V1. Now, therefore, the total work done. Therefore, the total work done W is equal to W1 plus W2. If you add these two, that is W1 and W2, W1 is anyhow 0 here, so W2 is this much. Therefore, what we get? W is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R. So this is the total amount of work done in moving the charge Q2 and both Q1 and Q2 from infinity to this point 1 and 2 respectively. Now this total work done in assembling Q1 and Q2 at a particular place by bringing them from infinity will be stored as electrical potential energy in the system. This work done will be stored as electric potential energy in the system. Therefore, which is equal to U. Simply we can write W will be U. Therefore, we can frame one definition here. What is the electric potential energy of a system of two charges, or simply system of charges means the total amount of work done in assembling the charges at a particular place by bringing them from infinity. So will be stored as electric potential energy in the system. Okay. Next. Similarly, what may be the case? So if there are three charges instead of two charges, if we are supposed to bring three charges and assemble them at a particular place, now what will be the final expression? Let us see. Electric potential energy of a system of three charges. Okay. Now, for my reference, I will take 3 points like this in the form of the vertices of an equilateral triangle. Let it be the first point, this is second point, and this is the third point. Here is our infinity. This is the infinity. For example, here are three charges Q1, Q2 and Q3. We are supposed to bring them from infinity to 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now, first, as according to the formality, we have to bring Q1. I will bring the Q1 from infinity to this point 1 and I will place here. Okay. Next, the distance between 2 and 1, I will mark it as R12. Distance between 1 and 3 as R13 and this as R23. Okay. Now, The amount of work done in bringing Q1 from infinity to this point 1 is W1 is equal to what? Yes, obviously true. That is 0 because there is no electric field to oppose it. Next, Q1 produces electric potential at both 2 and 3. Here I will write V1. What is the value of V1? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by R12. That is the electric potential at 2 due to this charge Q1. Therefore, next, this is the first work done. Second work done. We have to bring Q2 from infinity to 2. Now here is the potential to opposite. So that is electric field to opposite. Therefore, W can be written as simply just like that. V1 into Q2. I have brought that Q2 and placed it here. Therefore, it is W is equal to W2 is equal to V1 into Q2. What is the value of V1? This much. Therefore, on combining these two, 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R12. Correct? So this is the second part of the work. Similarly, we have to bring the charge Q3 from infinity to point 3. Now, by the time both Q1 and Q2 will produce the electric potential here, V1 plus V2 is already present here. What is the value of V2? What is the value of V2? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 divided by R23. R23. Write clearly. R23. Next. So how about the electric potential at 3 due to this Q1? Now it will change. That is V1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So this is at 3. This is at 2. So V1 will turns to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by R13. Next, our duty is to bring the charge Q3 from infinity to point 3. In doing so, work done W3 would be both V1 plus V2 times Q3. What we can take common in both these two means 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R23 plus Q1 by R13 into what is that charge? Q3. Next, add them. What we get? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 Q3 divided by R23 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 divided by R13. This is the work done W3. Now tell me what is the total work done in assembling the charges by bringing them from infinity to a particular place. Therefore, the total work done. Therefore, the total work done is W is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3. What is W1? 0. What is W2? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R12. What is W3? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 Q3 by R23 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 or Q3 Q1 divided by R13. Okay, if I take 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught outside, 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r12 plus q2 q3 by r23 plus q1 q3 divided by r13. So this is the total work done in assembling those three charges at a particular place by bringing them from infinity. Okay, obviously it is nothing but u, that is work done in doing so will be converted into electric potential energy of system of three charges. Like this we have to derive the expression. As I said earlier, it may or may not be asked in the annual examination, but you are supposed to be prepared for solving numerical problems. Okay, I will repeat once again. It is very easy to find the electric potential energy between two charges, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r. But when we come to the system of three charges, see, I have marked the 3 points 1, 2, 3. First, initially there were no charges at those points. All the charges were at infinity. Now first I will bring q1 from infinity to this point. Since there is no electric field and no electric potential, the work done in bringing the charge q1 from infinity to this point is 0. I have explained it a few minutes ago. Next, the second one, the amount of work done in bringing q2 from infinity to point 2 is not 0, because this time this charge will produce the electric potential at this point 2. Therefore, the amount of work done will be V1 into Q2. V1 into Q2. Simplification is left to you. Next, so both the charges Q1 and Q2 will produce the electric potential at 3 now. That is V1 plus V2 is there. This V1 should not be confused with this V1, because this V1 means potential at 2 due to 1. This potential is potential at 3 due to Q1. So here equilateral triangle means the distances are same. So if it is not an equilateral triangle means then it makes some difference. Therefore, so here that V1 is different from this V1, like that I have said. Okay. Now, while bringing the charge Q3 from infinity to this point, both because of the presence of both V1 and V2, the work done is not 0. Next, therefore W is equal to Q3. I have brought here Q3 into V1 plus V2. Next, the simplification. So therefore, the total work done is given by W is equal to W1 plus W plus W3. On simplification, we get this equation. And we know that the total work done in doing so, that is in assembling the charges Q1, Q2 and Q3 at a particular place by bringing them from infinity, will be stored as electric potential energy of system of three charges. Okay. Next. Now you are in a position to tell me which are the 4 electrical effects that we can expect from a charge at rest. First one, 4 electrical effect due to static charges. First one, I said about electric field first, but we have studied the force first. Therefore, it is electrical force. We can't expect the electrical force with only one charge. Therefore, it is electrical force arises between two charges. It is given by F is equal to, no need to write 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught and all. Simply, okay. For first one I will show 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square, or simply it is F is equal to k q into q divided by r square. If both the charges are having same magnitude means. Second one, electrical field E is equal to what was the expression? K q divided by r square. Therefore, on simplification, what we get? F divided by q, isn't it? R square will cancel. 1q will cancel. Therefore, E is equal to F divided by q. This is the second one. Third one, electric potential. Electric potential says V is equal to kq divided by R. Otherwise, it is E into Q. Shall we write like this? Okay. If it makes a difference means, if you can't understand it means, no problem. Leave R as it is. Next, electric potential energy. That is U is equal to kq divided by R. Like this. So, we are in a position to express the 4 electrical effects produced due to the static charges. Okay. Anyhow, thanks for watching. In the next class, let us discuss about electric potential energy of an electric dipole when it is placed in the presence of an external uniform electric field. Okay, thanks for watching.